you started playing basketball.
So I started playing basketball maybe at the age around 11 and 12. So I think that's around third grade. One of my close friends and great friends back in the States introduced me to a little like all Asian league that he had running with his dad. So he introduced me to the game. I played with them, and I guess you could just say the rest is history. I fell in love with the sport, and here I am now.
Why you choose Ateneo or your college school?
Yeah, man. So I chose Ateneo because my parents are from here. Obviously they studied in CUP. Pero I told my parents that I think Ateneo would be a good choice for me, academic-wise, and the people that were over there, especially Coach Tab, who was recruiting me. I was honored to at least be one of his first recruits, or if not his first recruit, along with Tyler Teo. And so I think it was an easy choice for me. And my parents were supportive of my decision. They never forced me to go to any other school, and I just felt like Ateneo was home.
How's experience playing the UAAP?
Playing the UAAP is something else. Everyone says it's a dream or luxury to play there, and I rightfully so. I had the opportunity and experience to play there. You learn a lot, IQ-wise and play-wise over there. Basketball is such a important game here in the Philippines, if not one of the biggest sports, along with volleyball. Like I said, luckily enough, I got to play in the UAAP, and what made it even better or bittersweet for me was, I got to play with, my guys over at Ateneo and with Coach Tab.
Top 3 toughest opponent players in UAAP.
That's kind of a hard question, but on the top of my head, when I was thinking of who to write on this one, I would definitely have to say Arvin Tolentino is one of them. He's just such an elite scorer. You can't give him breathing room. He'll just shoot it. You can't play too high on him. He'll just drive. And then, obviously Ben Mbala and his era with LaSalle, that was really crazy. He's a great player. He's smart as well. And then Alvin Pasaol, definitely in the top and up there. He scored, I think, career high against LaSalle, 50 or 40 something points. So that just speaks for itself. So those are the top 3 I can think of my head. But there's so many other guys that are such great players, and obviously tough to go against.
Who is Ateneo teammate you learn the most?
It's kind of tough, but being around, I think Mike Nieto. Those guys are such elite guys, and thinking about the game and thinking what's given to them. So I think Mike and I will talk a lot about the game back then, what we can do, to help the team better and to help ourselves going into the future. So I think Mike is one of the guys that I learned a lot with. Mike. Oh man, I think Mike and I would have a good series. It would kind of go back and forth because we're in the same situation, playing big there at Ateneo, kind of shifting to the pros, you're playing more of a guard because Mike and I are undersized, so our play style is very, very similar, I would say. So I think you're gonna go into a great series, but obviously I gotta be biased and go for myself. But you never know. We never know.
Curious, do you have other UAAP college offers?
There were some other, schools that were a little interested. I would say, if I recall, I think UP and LaSalle, FU and Adamson were kind of knocking on the door as well. But not as heavy as Ateneo when they were recruiting me. And I was just hit with all the great stuff about Ateneo. You hear about Ateneo legends, like Ryan Winifred, Kiefer, all those guys. So kind of just drew into me. So yeah.
What do you learn from Coach Tab?
Honestly, almost everything I know. Basketball wise. Everything he does is so good. His teachings are so fine tuned and detailed. We would be in film session for hours. I think I recall one time, I think season 81, we lost to Adamson our opening game, and the next day film. And I think we were in that room for maybe 4.5 hours. No practice, no ball, just all film. And especially with Coach Tab, he's a very systematic guy, and you take what the defense gives you, and one other thing that he taught me very well was how to be super, super effective without the ball. How to create for others without the ball and moving without the ball. And I think those are, such important aspects in today's game, especially, since it's revolved around shooting and getting your shooters open. So, yeah.
Do you have offline overseas before joining in the PBA?
No, I didn't have any, solid, offers, overseas. I mean, there were some interests, obviously, but, in life, stuff happens. So, here I am in the PBA, not complaining. Like I said, it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be playing here in the Philippines, in one of the highest, if the highest league in South Asia.
How's the feeling drafted in the PBA?
Like I said, bro, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Super grateful and blessed to be in this position I am to play against, the greatest talents and greatest players here in the Philippines. And yeah, like I said, one of the best, Southeast Asian leagues.
How's so experience playing the PBA?
Super tough experience. You're playing against people that have been in the league, matagal na. Guys that have been in there, so they know, the ins and outs about the game, how to play it in, this league, and you got teams like the SMC teams that have been together. They have their core guys, they have their core rotation, so that makes it even harder because these guys have been together so long. They're like a unit. Their chemistry is unmatched, and there's a lot of adjustments. Personally, I have to take to fine tune my game and adjust to the play style.
Who is Phoenix teammate you learn the most?
There's two. I learned a lot from everyone on the team, whether it be a fellow rookie or guys that have been here the longest. But I think two that stand out to me are three. I can say three. Jason Perkins and RJ Azul. And my past teammate Ty. Those guys helped me out a lot. Whether it be the simple stuff or the things that are complicated. Because we all come from great programs. And like Perk's been with LaSalle. I played him against my rookie year. He was a tough guy to guard. So it's a nice feeling to finally be teammates with him. So yeah, those guys help me out a lot and teach me whatever they can. Get me through the ins and outs of how long they've been in the game and what they experienced.
How's teammate with Jonathan Williams?
Great. J3 is such a great guy. It's a great teammate. He's not one of those guys that, look for his stats, but he also tries to create for everyone. And, he's such a great player. He, without even, purposely thinking it, he already does it automatically. On the court, he's a good guy. He's a great player, high IQ, highly talented, and, off the court, he's chill. Got to hang out with him a couple times, and cool dude, very nice guy, very down to earth.
Why you choose jersey number 22?
Oh yeah, I like this story. So coming into Ateneo, I wanted to choose number 8, but I think 8 was taken by Aaron Black. So obviously seniority and Fed, he's been there the longest, so I couldn't take that number. So I sat down with my parents and I was like, man, I don't think I can get 8. A little backstory, sorry. 8 is because obviously 8 is the month and date my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer before. Thank God she's very healthy now, survived. This is I think my freshman year in high school, so she's okay now. So yeah, we sat down and we were like, what other numbers can I take? I don't want to choose a weird number and just stick throughout my college career or my whole life. So they were just like, oh, why don't you just use 22? I said, what's 22? They were like, oh, 22 is our anniversary date. So yeah, of their marriage. So I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. My family and I are super close, so I try and implement them in basketball any way I can.
If you not became professional player, what do you think your work right now?
People, this is also a very good question because I've never really put in the thought about what I would be, but during the pandemic, I thought about it. COVID year, I really got into cooking. So I think I would try and be around a restaurant, the food business, or something that revolves around food. Because everyone loves food, so picked up the habit of cooking, and if I wasn't a basketball player, maybe I would have been a chef or something, man. Got ABIS, Interdisciplinary Studies in Ateneo. So that's a course where I can choose two majors, and towards the end of, I think, junior year, or I think coming into junior year, you can choose which path you want to take. So I took communication and education, and I graduated with a communications degree.
Last question, top 3 best young NBA players right now.
Top 3, that's good. That's also a good question. So many young guys out there killing it in the league, but I love Luka. Luka Doncic is one of my top guys. SGA, he's a great guy. He's a scorer, defender. He's an everything guy. You give him the ball and he can score 60 if he wanted to. And then I gotta give it to Wemby, man. Wemby's such an interesting guy to watch. I mean, you're a 7'4", something like that, and you move like a guard. You're able to shoot. So those guys right now are my top 3 young NBA prospects. Obviously, there's Anthony Edwards killing it. Jason Tatum just won a championship, and he played very well in his finals. So yeah. But hats off to those guys, man.
Thank you for watching.